Welcome back everyone, Racerx here, and today we're going to be talking about the C8 Corvette. You can see it right here behind me. I actually popped in to visit my good buddies at Furman Chevrolet in Tampa. They let me borrow this beautiful used C8 Corvette, although it is a 2025. But when I was doing some research for a different video, I found some interesting information out about C8 Corvettes, mainly used C8 Corvettes, because I was amazed at how many are actually on the market right now and what is going on with the pricing on these cars. So today we will talk all about it. If you guys are brand new to my channel, please hit subscribe. You can find that button right over here. It really does help the channel quite a bit as I try to grow. Obviously, I do love my Chevy stuff, so if you guys are brand new, you haven't seen my content before, remember to subscribe, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Guys, if you like Corvettes, make sure you head on over to Dream Giveaways website, because they've got not one, not two, but 3 epic Corvette giveaways going at the same time. I'm going to go back up to the top. I want to show you this car really quick, a 1970 Stingray with a big block, and it's ending in just 25 days. Of course, right here, they're road and track. This is one of the most popular giveaways that they have right now. A 720 horsepower Lingenfelter C7 Z06 and a 2024 E-Ray. Both those cars, absolutely gorgeous. And my favorite right here, black and red, a 2025 Z06 and a 1964 Stingray that's been fully restored. My code Racerx works on all of their giveaways to give you 4x entries. So you can go check out any of their giveaways, enter my code Racerx, get 4x entries instead of just one, and I can't wait to see who wins.
So the reality is I'm not really a brand loyal performance enthusiast, and many of you guys that found my channel and love my channel, it is because of the Mopar content that I do, and I get that, right? Up until about 7-8 years ago, I was actually more of a GM guy, but then I kind of got into my Mopar phase, and you guys followed me through, you know, my Hellcat, and then of course some of the Scat Pack content I did, RT content, truck content, anything and everything Mopar. I kind of have already been there and done it, and I love my Mopar stuff, don't get me wrong, but I have had 5 Corvettes. I had a Camaro in the past. You guys know I had a couple of Mustang GTs. I've kind of had a litany of different cars that I have loved. And if I'm really being honest, my fastest car ever wasn't a Mopar. It was actually my 2010 Camaro that I had a lot of work done to, that ran like 7s. It was actually a really fast car. I put so much money into that thing. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. But I do love Corvettes. I've never been the New Balance wearing, you know, high sock dude with the cutoffs and sitting in my lawn chair in front of it. But if you've ever had the chance to drive a Corvette, right, anything going back to like the C5s, these cars handle fantastic and they are a butt ton of fun to drive. They're relatively light, and I have so many positive things to say about the Corvette. And those of you guys that have been following my channel for a while, going back to pre-COVID, you know that I tried to get one of these for the channel. Then of course the whole COVID debacle happened. I didn't end up getting to make this work. I moved my deposit over to the Z06, and then of course the dealership tried to hose me at 50,000 over sticker. Homie doesn't do that, and it was just a whole big mess. So you guys have never seen me do a Corvette on the channel, and I considered it for my latest project. Those of you guys that follow my my recent content, you realize I just bought a Camaro for the channel because it's relatively inexpensive compared to this car, but these cars are getting cheaper. This car is a perfect example of what you can find out there on the used Corvette market. This is a 2025, like 645 miles on this car, and they are selling it used. There are so many used C8s out there on the market. And as I mentioned, this car is a lot of fun to drive. I mean, this is the first mid-engine Corvette that they ever did. We know that these came out in 2020, so they've been out on the market for a while, and you're seeing a lot of these cars out on the street. And during COVID, they just couldn't get any of these things produced, but now they are literally all over the place. And when you start to look at the prices on these used Corvettes, they're really not holding their value. I'm so used to Corvettes holding so much value, and it seems like they just never come down in price, but you're seeing these things for like mid-50s right now, and I'm talking cars that don't have a ton of miles on them. I mean, this one, it's not a crazy equipped car, but it is equipped really nice. I like the interior on it, and I just love the point and shoot feel of a mid-engine car. I mean, they are a lot of fun to drive. They drive significantly different than the other Corvette versions I have driven, and I love my C5 Z06s. I still maintain that those cars are one of the best cars ever made. They are true driver's cars, and they've had a lot of great iterations of the Corvette, but man, you can get a steal on these things right now. So I was doing some research for a different video because I always want to be as factual as I can when I'm giving you guys statistics and metrics about things. And I always encourage you to go out and kind of do your own research so that you can check my facts. And you guys, I promise you, you will see the exact same thing. I used Auto Trader. You guys can use Car Gurus. I mean, you can do a number of different sites if you want to do your own research to find out how many used C8s are out there on the market. And we know kind of through COVID and even post-COVID, these cars were really hard to get because they just weren't being produced. But I guess they got really busy because there are a ton of these things on the used market right now. I went in and researched really back to 2020 when they started producing these up into 2024 because it gave me a whole bracket full of used cars. And it seems that they have 660 used C8 Corvettes 2020 to 2024, so it's 5 model years. That is actually a lot. I am surprised to see that many of these cars out there used, and it is driving the prices way down. Yes, we had the Z06 come out, and now we're seeing those kind of out there readily. And for a while, we couldn't get those out there into the hands of the public. Well, they're all over the place now, and we got the ZR1 getting ready to come down the pipe. They've actually got a few of those kind of out there in the public, not very many yet, but 1,064 horsepower, so they kind of started bringing the upper level trims out, and it has caused the price of the C8 to come way down. So if you're in the market for a C8, I would definitely look at them, but 660 within 500 miles of me. I live in Tampa, and that is actually a lot. Comparatively speaking, I looked up Camaros, right? And we know they kind of produced Camaros up until 2024. They didn't produce that many in 2024, but traditionally, that is a car they produced way more of than the Corvette because it has always been way more affordable. And when you look at all the Camaro trims within 500 miles of me, the same years, right? 2020 to 2024, you get 387. So like half of the number of used C8s out there. And then when you separate it out even further and you just look for V8 Camaros, which would be kind of more appropriate to compare this to, there's only 182. That includes the LT1 like I just bought, the SS and the ZL1. All 3 trims, 180 cars within 500 miles of me. If you like Mopar, to compare it, the Challenger Scatpack, 165 Challenger Scatpacks compared to 660 within 500 miles of me. So way more C8s. It's just really surprising to me. And even the Mustang GT, and they produced the living garbage out of the Mustang GT. Within 500 miles, there are about 400 Mustang GTs for sale used from 2020 to 2024. So that would have been up until the first year of the S650 and some of the S550 years there kind of blended. But I mean, the same exact model years, 400 of those. So even less Mustang GTs than C8 Corvettes, and by a pretty good number. So that shows you how many used C8 Corvettes are out there right now. So if you like C8 Corvettes, now might be a really, really good time to go get your hands on one because there's a lot of inventory out there and the prices are coming way, way down on these. And like I said, Corvettes traditionally seem to hold their value really well. But when I did a little more research, I looked at C7 Corvettes, right? 2014 to 2019 had a pretty good run there. Those cars are actually like in the low 30s. And that surprised me a little bit. I didn't think you could get them for that low. And we're talking cars with not very many miles on them that are in really, really good shape. We're not talking salvage cars or flood cars, whatever. We're talking about like legitimate, really nice cars, you know, low 30s. And that's a lot of car, the C7 Corvette. And they look really good. And these cars can be had for like mid-50s. I mean, you can see it all over Auto Trader, Car Gurus. I did more research on it. Mid-50s gets you a relatively low mileage, nicely equipped C8 Corvette. Now, I can already hear it in the comments section, so there's actually 2 things that I want to address. First off, no, I am not baked, guys. I don't do that. My eyes are killing me because of the pollen in Florida right now. My eyes are so itchy and they are killing me. So anyway, that's why my eyes are red. It's not pleasant. Anyway, the other thing is, why didn't I buy a C8 Corvette instead of a Camaro LT1 if they are so cheap? And that is actually kind of a fair question to ask. And it all comes down to not only price, right? I paid $31,000 for my little 2021 Camaro LT1 because it's the perfect little platform to build on. It is really light. I can have a lot of fun with that car. It's very tunable, and it's just a lot more mod friendly than this car is. They still haven't cracked the tuning on this. Yes, they can use piggybacks on these. I've seen people do twin turbos, but this car definitely has its limitations. So it's not that I wouldn't love to own a Corvette, because I absolutely would. They are a fantastic driving car in terms of just look and feel, and the way you sit in this car, the way it wraps around you. I love just about everything about this car, which is why I wanted to get one for the channel a while back. But the content on it's kind of been played out a little bit. So unless I was going to do something just way different, right, way out in left field that people haven't seen before, I just don't see it really being worth it, where I can go buy an LT1 for way cheaper, and then, get all the mods and do some fun stuff with it, and, maybe do a build that's a little bit more relatable. Like I told you guys in a previous video, right? It's all about building something that's fun, that's fast, that's relatable, and I can build a car that's hopefully ZL1 fast or faster on a budget, and show you guys how to do it and maybe how to replicate it. And I feel like maybe that would be beneficial for a lot more people. So anyway, that's why I went with the Camaro over this Corvette, taking nothing away from this car. Like I said, I love the C8 Corvette. Such a nice car to sit in. It definitely feels a lot more upscale than sitting in the Camaro. And like I said, it just feels like a cockpit in this thing. But for me, it just wasn't the right decision. Just look at the way this car wraps around you. When I say it feels like a cockpit, it really does. If you've never had an opportunity to drive or sit in one of these, it is really a treat. I love the heads-up display, obviously the digital dash right here. I mean, I just really like this car. Now, I know some of you will say, but Racerx, they have some really cool kits out there for the C8. Magnuson has a supercharger for these now. Obviously, ProCharger has a supercharger for these, and they all sound fantastic because they go right back here behind your head. I've driven them, and they are great. But man, are they expensive. I mean, where you would put a Magnuson on a Camaro, you might spend $7 or $8 grand. Where you put a Magnuson on this, it's like over 20 grand. And the same with the ProCharger kit, because they have to do this really kind of intricate intake system on it. And there's just a lot more to do on a car like this that's a lot more expensive. Like I said, taking nothing away from the C8, it is a fantastic package. I'm actually back here just kind of cruising around at low speed. The road's not great, but I just love the turn in on this car and just how responsive it is. Here's a little turn in right up here. Power comes on so nice and smooth in this thing. I always smile ear to ear when it comes to driving a C8 and just the sounds that come out of it. And the Z06 is even more visceral. So like I said, the Corvettes definitely have a lot going on. If you have, mid 50s or 60 grand laying around and you want a really cool, fun car, go drive one of these things if you haven't had a chance to drive one yet. Here's another little straightaway, kind of giving it. Yeah, these things on the street are remarkably quick and darty. And that's the best way to describe these, is they are just quick and darty. There's no fanfare to kind of how they make the power. It's just really quick. And that's part of the fun of something like this, is just driving something that doesn't weigh a whole lot. The turn in on it is really nice and immediate because the engine's right back here. I mean, mid-engine cars, that's kind of what they're known for, is just the way they turn in and the way they handle. And I mean, this thing does all of it. And, stoplight to stoplight, this is a very formidable car at being, 490 horsepower, whatever it is. It feels like way more because it doesn't want to spin a whole lot, because all the weight is sitting right back over there over the drive wheels. So I'm just pulling back up to the dealership. Huge shout out to Furman Chevrolet in Tampa for letting me borrow their car for a few minutes to talk about it. I've already done lots of stuff on the C8. Certainly I've reviewed it in the past for you guys and talked about how much fun it is to drive. But yeah, I mean, now's a great time. And had I not bought the Camaro, I would still heavily consider one of these, because it's just a great driving experience. Now, I did take the time to talk to multiple salesmen at multiple different dealerships, and they all kind of told me the same thing about used C8s. They get a lot of them in, and they're selling a lot of them. So I think both of those two things are good. I mean, obviously, they're not bringing crazy amounts of money right now, so I think that's good if you are a C8 enthusiast, but it's also good for the dealerships because obviously they're burning through them, but there's just a lot of inventory out there on these right now. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. If you like Corvettes, especially C8s, but like I said, the C7s are out there, can be had for like, you know, mid to low 30s, really nice cars. These cars, mid 50s will get you a nice car, all the way up to like 60 grand, low miles. I mean, even up to like 3 LT cars. I know there's a lot of different trims in these, so they can be a little bit confusing. You're not going to get a Z06 for that, obviously, and I love the Z06. I would even still consider doing one for the channel. Those things are still in the six-figure range, but these cars are great. They're so much fun to drive. As you guys saw, I got to hoon around in this just a little bit, and man, they really do perform well. So like I said, it's not just an old guy's car. I definitely respect it for its performance. That engine obviously sitting right over the drive wheels. On the street, this is a very formidable car. Feels like way more than just under 500 horsepower, and man, look at it. It's a beautiful car. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Are you in the market for a C8 Corvette? Is now the time to act? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, Racerx.